Story time with Brizzy. So basically what happened was I was 15, and when I was 14 I ended up breaking into this kid's house, and that's not the smartest thing to do because yes, everyone has cameras nowadays, and whenever you're breaking into their house they tend to like to call the cops on you. So I ended up getting locked up, and I was locked up February 2nd of 2020. That's the year. And I was locked up around that time. And my birthday's in September, so we waited till September to get to this story. And I was a hothead when I was there. What people like to call a crash out or a YN. I don't know what those mean, but that's just what they refer to me as. So that's what we're going as today. And that's what I'm going as for the rest of my life, I guess. But not really. But no, what happened was, so they have these things in DYS called circles. A circle is whenever someone is disrupting the group. They circle it up to address the issue, and that's what happened because I called the pedophile named Jesse. I called him a pedophile, and that's what happened. And then I threw a tissue at him, and they got all mad. And the group leader started looking at me, and he's like, "Hey, you!" And I was like, "Me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're gonna be just like your parents." And I was like, "You know what? You're gonna feel these hands." The fact of the matter was, he did not feel those hands because I got up and I wanted to go hit him, and that man did some like convulsional shit, and I was on the ground, and like he didn't punch me, but like I was in the air, and then I was no longer in the air, and I had no air, and he just did not like to pay fair. So pretty much that's what happened at this time. But then we're gonna carry on to the point where my friend Alan seen that Micah was on me, and Micah was what we like to refer to as a opposition or an op at this time. And so Micah was on my leg, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you the count of 3 to get off Weston." And he said 1, 2, 3. And then that man got up and he kind of like he got off of me and like went to the wall and like kind of like slid down the wall. And then Weston got up and they were trying to restrain Alan, and he was just a big boy, like he was big. I'm like, damn, what am I supposed to do? So I was like, I am a little dude and I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. So I ran over, so that fire started, pull that bitch, went all over that place. Oh shit, started choking my own hair all over the place, and I was like, damn, okay, now what we're supposed to do. So I ran back over, and we had to line up and go over to, because this happened in the cafeteria, so we had to go back to the dorm. We went back to the dorm, and at the dorm, they were circled up again, and my little high self listened to my other friends. It was Alan again, because, yeah, and he's like, yo, go shoot the other fire extinguisher. And my dude on the side was like, yeah, go shoot that one. I was like, bam. So I got up, and I was like, I didn't run. I was acting sad, so I was like, yeah, I got up shit like this and went, so then we moved to the other dorm, and there was the pedophile again. And again, his name is Jesse. And he was sitting in his chair, and he was really pedophile-ish, and he would just sit there like a pedophile, being a pedophile the whole time. He'd just be sitting like there. And he had the glasses on. So you know what I did? I went and grabbed the fucking hanger off the fucking thing. Those things up there. I grabbed that, and I grabbed it, and I hit this ass with it. And they restrained me, and I bit my side of my cheeks and was spitting blood at everyone. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk.